I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And the offense, my goodness, over 50 points in the win last weekend. When you do that, you're not going to lose very many games, maybe not any games.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
His first carry, and some room to maneuver. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Now it's Hines. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They run with Hines. And he's got this down to the 35. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold him to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. This is Hines, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. Now this is picked up by the Bills, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
On first down, Manning, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The numbers for him from a week ago: 11 carries, 55 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
He's not going to get me. Go.
On second down, it's Manning, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Manning. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
They do go for it. Here's Allen. It's caught. Jones. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on fourth down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. The 20.
Tell me I didn't just see these first 2 possessions. I mean, is this one of those cases of anything you can do, I can do
better?
Maybe not better, huh? Worse? Yeah, just a little bit. Very sloppy start. I think maybe a case of the nerves for both teams.
And now we're back to an even playing field. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rosen. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Looking at this situation, if you're at the 1, the 2, maybe you go for it. From here, you kick it.
I agree. I think you have to get points in this situation. 4th down, I don't chance it at all. I put the points on the board and go back and regroup.
Defense.
Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Allen going to come to the line here, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 2nd down now. It's Manning, and he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Operating from the red zone now. Allen, they'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Allen gonna throw. That's caught at the 3. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills have taken the lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. A big play there for the Dolphins. 41 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Here's Hines. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now Allen. Over the middle, complete. It's Hicks. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start on the ground with Hines. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd and 11 now. Rosen, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's a cornerback in for the sack, Tre'Davious White.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
3rd and long here for Rosen. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Come on now, let's go.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, and you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Allen now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Allen. This complete to Jones. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 29-yard line.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. 23 yards on the play. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Here's Allen to throw it. Buying touchdown, Buffalo. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone for a touchback, so that will come out now to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Rosen. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Rose into the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Here's Rosen to throw. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
This one complete to Coleman. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the... Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And they're going deep for Hill. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Bills send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So we have reached halftime here in an 11. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Bills now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
11 yards and a Buffalo first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll keep it on the ground. Manning, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? It looks like they're ready to go.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Manning. But with his size coming out of the backfield, usually takes more than an arm tackle to get him down. That's why they like to get him involved in the passing game.
No doubt about it. You saw him running that angle route there and catching the ball. And with his size, not often thought to have hands, but we're hearing that more and more.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's what I'm talking about. Sacks all day, man.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. Well, the Bills send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the second time. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
A try here for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They begin the drive with Hines. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They run again with Hines, and he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now it's Rosen. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Tre'Davious White, the LSU man, there to knock it away that time.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Here's Hill on the return. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Bills to take over. They defeated the Patriots last week, now looking to make it 2 in a row here as they come up 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Hey, we got 3 down.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Over the middle, complete. It's Manning. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
They'll run on first down. Manning. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Manning. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Alert. 3 down.
On 2nd and 7, Allen. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Raekwon McMillan. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Throwing now is Allen. Jones has it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 38-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. To the air, Allen got his man complete over the middle. That's Manning. And the Dolphins have got it. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 12, Rosen. They'll find Everett there, complete. And I think the ball's out.
Last stop.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Matt Hawk now, standing just about on his own goal line. This is away, and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence. If they just get their assignments down, they get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
Now Allen. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. Jerome Baker right there in coverage. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Bills on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now Rosen, throw right side is into the hands of his tight end Everett. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They got his man complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain there of 30 big ones. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But
and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Gerald Everett, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer.
Brandon, they just got the ball, and already they're in the end zone, and you're getting ready to talk about the PAT. That was fast.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
A pickup of 24, and that's where the play began, the 24-yard line. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the gun, Allen. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. 33 yards that time.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. Well, no doubt here in the fourth quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harding. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
The Bills on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Allen. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On first down, it's Rosen. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rosen. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rosen.
After that incompletion, I almost get the sense that he's going to look up at the booth and kind of look at us and say, hey, you guys got any suggestions? It's been that kind of game, hasn't it? They've had him on the run throughout.
Yeah, and I get that you're trying to make a play here losing fourth quarter, but to throw when you're not set with pressure coming could have been an interception.
Very much so, and it's been that kind of game for him.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. He's going to let it fly. And this is taken in at the 5. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Greedy Williams picks it off.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. So Allen's going to look to throw. Little pitch and catch to the tight end Knox. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Manning. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. They complete it to Hill. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Bills, They used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.